just be confident in what we're doing and just believe. And I didn't really feel like anyone looked up to anyone, personally speaking. And I thought we just were just going at it together, and we all knew what we needed to do and just had to get it done.
I had an amazing team, and I was very unconfident coming to the TI actually, but they all cheered me up through the entire tournament. And coming to the grand finals, I had the feeling we cannot lose. That's the feeling I got. It's very weird. I don't know if I would ever repeat.
Okay, well, when was the shift for each of you then that you felt you cannot lose this? At what point in the tournament, if you were coming in nervous, what point was that changing?
I mean, for me, it's if Curtis ever got techies or Naga. I just knew we couldn't lose, It was a guaranteed win.
So yours was in the draft. All right, I see.
I mean, we were so confident that we even picked, in one of the games we picked Patch just because we wanted to have some fun, to play it. Yeah. So it was kind of crazy back in the days.
Yeah, honestly, I think as soon as Boba found out they don't play Leshrac.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, and Sumail was like, okay, free win. that was good.
I didn't really think if we gonna win or lose. I really just played. I don't know. I just had a lot of fun myself. I didn't really get to think that if we're going to win or lose. I didn't, yeah.
Do you guys want to show off your rings, by the way? I don't know if everyone in the audience has seen these before, but I mean, you got two, Jarak, so we'll start with you. We'll show off both of yours. Do you wear it often? What was the feeling when you picked it up as well? Because there's going to be 5 players and a coach getting to pick up theirs in, after this one.
I think they're getting dusty most of the time.
Really?
And, I guess I don't really have a place to show them except this. Yeah.
You come to TI and you're like, oh, hey guys, check out the rings, by the way.
I don't really live off right now. I wish I could do that, but I don't seem to do that very well.
All right. Then you guys want to quickly answer, because I know there's some more questions circulating around the arena.
No, I don't leave home without it.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I've seen you all the time, Fear. He's polishing it in the back room, in the green room. He's just making sure that that is shiny as. We've got Slacks in the crowd. We wanted to ask some more questions out there. There's going to be some fan questions. Hey, Slacks, give us the first one.
Yes, I've spent a lot of time finding someone with a real question that was not trolling. Thank you. One person in this entire area, but we did get a Wojnin.
Sahil.
All right, fantastic. What would you like to ask these folks?
For all our Archon, Heralds, and Crusaders out here, what does it take to be a TI champion?
What does it take, TI champions, to be a TI champion besides just being one of these Archon, Herald, Crusader scrubs? No offense to 90% of the audience.
Do you want to go first, Jerax? Because you've had to do it twice in 2 very different ways.
A lot of emotional damage in your public matchmaking.
That's the solid advice to be a TI champion. All right.
I don't think you can make the step from being Archon Herald to TI champion. That can be your dream, your aspirations, but I think the only advice I can give is just play a lot of Dota. Just keep playing, and eventually you'll play with better players, and then you'll play with pros, and then from there you'll get on teams, and then it's a slow process, but it will happen.
Yeah. How you were saying the other day that it's a lot of luck, a lot of things kind of falling into place for you.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of luck, honestly, but I think you have to put yourself in the position to get lucky. I think if, as Fear said, if you just keep grinding at it, that's gonna open the opportunities for you.
Do you want to add anything else, Denny?
Oh yeah, I completely agree to that. You need to love the game and try to not get frustrated in your pub games, which is not as simple.
Wish somebody told me that before.
Yeah, then maybe not so much emotional damage would have occurred for poor Jerax here. Tsunami's also out there. Here's another fan with another question.
That's right. My friend, introduce yourself.
My name is Seth.
And you got a question for one of our panelists.
Of course, for Fear. So my friends got inspired to play Dota 2 because the North American representation. So how does it feel, Fear, to be the North American representative of Dota 2? Free to play, I mean, you were the main guy for us. How does that feel?
I just feel honored to give them the opportunity to be represented in free to play. They could have chose a lot of different people. They chose me. I just love Dota overall, and I'm just very fortunate. I feel blessed that I was just given this opportunity, and I just will run with it for as long as I can because I just love Dota. So I'm just happy to be here.
the arena giving you a big round of applause there. That's also made me think about another question, is at the end of the grand finals, I'm sure you guys had a lot of elation, a lot of joy, maybe even relief, but when did it really set in? Where were you like, oh, I wish I had spent more time in the moment? Was it a couple months after, or it still really hasn't? Every time you come back to TI, you're taking it back to what has happened in your past, in your history.
I think thinking years back, I feel like now it's maybe coming more than before. Personally, after especially the first TI, I think it took me like 2 weeks to even understand what happened, because I was so much in the moment, and I guess that kind of carried over, that you're just not really thinking what had happened.
Oh.
Yeah, honestly, I think the same. Like when you're there, like there's just lights everywhere, there's fireworks, you're just like...
The confetti coming down,
you don't know what's happening.
You're like, oh, I guess we lifted this now.
But I think as soon as you have some time and you think about, like, these are the memories you'll never forget. Like, you always remember these moments.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it took a very long time for me as well. Like, there's a lot of people cheering for you. You win, there's confetti you talk about. You get back home, and I'm like, all I've been doing is playing Dota for the years and years. So what did I do when I got back home? I just queued it up and just played more Dota. So it just felt like nothing happened. I was just back on it, and later
More
on,
emotional damage.
once you start playing less Dota, you're not playing as competitive anymore, then you really look back and how special these moments really are.
I had euphoria for like a week, I think, and I was looking in the sky and like, oh my God, so good. That's happened a lot of times through that week, and trying to work through the information in my head. We actually won TI. Wow. Yeah, after a week, I get back to normal and just keep going.
Such a surreal feeling that sometimes it's like it never really will set in. But we're going to keep asking some more questions. We got Slacks out there. Another fan, another question. Let's hear what it is.
Thank you, thank you. Now, I did have a question, by the way. I managed to catch up with a guy who has an ORT sign earlier, and I said, what the hell is that? And he said, quote, I don't know, I just think it's funny. So thanks a lot. All day this guy is about ORT. He's a goddamn madman. Anyway, a real question. What is your name?
Dylan.
Dylan, what do you have for these legends of Dota 2?
Legends of Dota 2, what advice would you give to the teams that have been vanquished from TI? Do you disband? Do you reform? How do you move forward as an org?
Yeah, good luck with this one, Howie.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a tough question even when you do win TI, what you do with the roster after that one.
I don't know. I think, honestly, if you attended TI, you watch the finals, you watch them win, and it doesn't motivate you, then maybe you take a break. But I think for like 99% of Dota players, they watch that, like, this is the fire that burns. This is what keeps you going through the emotional damage and trauma. So, yeah, just keep going.
It's tough being a spectator at an event that you were a part of. You wanted to win. You had that drive, motivation, and passion, but you just couldn't get there in the end. Daddy, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, it's very tough sometimes, but it's good to live in the moment and enjoy, because this is also a great experience to watch it from crowd and have a lot of fun, for sure.
Do you want to add fear, Jerax?
Advice for teams that have gotten knocked out?
Yeah, you're pretty normally brutally honest.
Sure. I mean, for a lot of the teams that have got knocked out, they're still young. Like, I didn't even win until I was 27. So just keep at it, keep grinding. Like, it's good to feel sad, in my opinion. It's good to feel, that's motivation, right? So as long as you don't give up and you still have the passion, as long as you think you can still win and just don't give up entirely, that's good enough.
Did you know you're not the oldest TI winner anymore?
I know Snaking is by a few months.
By a few months. Were you devastated when you heard the news?
I mean, he's taken everything from me. That's all I had left.
That was it. That's the only thing that was keeping you going, was being the oldest TI winner. Look, I'm going to move on to another question. I do know Tsunami has one out there, so let's quickly hear what it is.
That's right, my friend. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Abhishek, and I've been playing Dota for around 5 years. Yeah.
And you have some specific fond memories from Jerax specifically. What were you hoping to ask him?
I've been like astonished with the tiny lands in the TI. It's so good. And I just wanted to know, like, what's your reaction when Samuel did the tiny lands to the RTG in the base?
Wait,
and yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Yeah.
Tsunami, can you please repeat it?
Whenever, obviously you're very famous for some tiny airlines plays, Jerax. You're tiny in general. Does it ever warm your heart a little to see that play be pulled off on a high-stakes stage, such as previous TIs when maybe Sumail did it to RTZ or something?
Yeah, sure. Make a trend, you know.
I'm going to have to start getting all the clips and then just put hashtag Jerax Tiny Airlines next to it instead.
I'm happy to see it anytime. So.
I love it. Look, we're nearing the grand finals now, okay? We're only a couple minutes away, so I want to go back to the teams that we want to focus on. Team Spirit, Gaming Gladiators here. Fear and Jerax, this is mainly for you two because they're such similar things, and actually you as well, Aoi, because that TI5 win for you both, you were in the upper bracket, you came to that lower bracket, and one day you had to go lower bracket into grand finals, and you won it. So your advice for Gaming Gladiators right now, what would it be? How do you contain these emotions, and how do you persevere through a potential best of 5?
I guess I'll start, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we got knocked down by CDEC and went into the lower bracket. We won that match 2-0, I believe, and then we went in. I think we lost to the team beforehand, but we knew we were better. We just had to make a couple adjustments, and if we just made those adjustments, we knew we had to take to win. So it was just confidence, really, and good preparation.
Do you have anything else that you want to add into that one, Aoi?
No, not really. I think that sounds right. Like, you just go in. I think Gladiators, they had a long run this TI. You know, they started in the lower bracket after losing to Talon. They've come all this way. I think it's time, like, you put all this work in, you got all this experience in the tournament, they've grown a lot. If they feel confident, they can just execute that. They should feel really good about the series.
So there weren't actually that many nerves for you both when you were about to walk out after even having played a series earlier. Do you think the earlier series actually helped you and could help Gaming Gladiators?
I thought it was good to play, honestly. Like, you're all warmed up, you have the momentum going. I feel like as long as it's not like some, I don't know, like 2 80-minute games that you just played, it's going to be really good for you.
That's true, where it's more as the 40 minutes that we just previously saw. It's a bit better.
Yeah, this is where I say like every finals is going to be different for everyone, because